The family of Gabriella Cartagena will hold a candlelight vigil tonight at Red Arrow Park in Marinette. The event will honor her life after she was reported missing earlier this month and later found dead. Drew Best joining us live in the newsroom with the latest on this case. Drew.
Cammie, it's just been over a week since the search for Gabriella Cartagena ended after she was found dead in a wooded area in Menominee, Michigan. Her family now hoping to bring the community together to celebrate her life and mourn her loss. According to the criminal complaint, Cartagena's boyfriend Robert Chilcote admitted to shooting her in the head during an argument on the night of February 4th. He was arrested in Minnesota a few days after the shooting and reportedly told investigators he tried to scare her with the gun and the gun went off. Chilcote will make his first appearance in Minnesota court on Friday on charges related to the chase that ended in his arrest. The Marinette County District Attorney's Office says no extradition hearing has been scheduled yet, so it is unclear when Chilcote could face his charges in Wisconsin. Tonight's vigil remembering Cartagena will begin at 7 o'clock. Family members are encouraging people to bring balloons and candles to the ceremony. You can find our coverage of the event tonight on Action 2 News at 10. Cammie.